this is Ben the Bushwhacker, reminding you to get all your best Jeep news from the XJ Talk Show. And don't forget to follow Bushwhacker on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey guys, welcome to the XJ Talk Show pre-show, and we'll be getting going here in just a minute. If you're usual to the show, you know you know what to expect, a little pre-show action here. So, like I said, we'll get going here in just a minute. So I noticed when I was playing the music there, Josh, I was hearing some popping noise. Did you hear that on your side?
I heard that too. It sounded like clipping almost.
No, it wasn't anywhere close to being too loud. Just a lot of popping.
It was the kind of artifact you'd hear when something is overgained or like it's clipping. It didn't sound overgained. It didn't have that hot sound. So I don't know what it was.
Let me try this. I don't think it'll make a damn bit of difference, but try calling me back.
Okay. Yeah. Already it sounds different.
Yeah, but
oh yeah, that's a million times different than what I was just hearing a minute ago.
I think I'm still hearing the popping though.
And it's coming from my end?
No, it was still there whenever you were gone.
Oh, okay. Well, you got gremlins over there, man. Your studio has gremlins.
Making sure I got everything Well, the popping's not as bad now, but I can still hear the little clicking noise.
It's coming from your mic or whatever channel that is, because I don't hear it on the music, but I hear you kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay. Do you hear anything now? Click, click,
No.
click. Yeah,
No.
it's coming from the PC. Oh, so much fun. All the audio gear is on a UPS now. So I'm kind of wondering. Boy, I can even hear a hum in the background.
No, that's no good.
Hang on one second.
Well, for those of you guys listening to the pre-show, we're just getting things ironed out here as we get the show all buttoned up and ready to begin. So hang tight. We'll get going here in just a little bit.
Well, that's a shame. It's definitely coming from the PC.
Yeah. That's not.
Can you hear that hum?
No. Yeah, no, I don't hear anything. Whatever's going on over there, it's being blocked out by your compressor limiter gate, or it's not coming through Skype or something.
Let's see if I can mess with something and hear it on my headphones.
Ah, the joys of owning a studio. Always something to plug, unplug, replug, rewire, test, retest, work all the kinks out. Always a lot of fun. especially when you're running the entire thing from several states away, or at least away from your co-host. That would be me.
Well, we'll just have to go with it the way it is.
All right, man.
Okay, so let's see. I think I got everything up on the board.
All right, you got the necessary Amazon intros and outros?
We just found out what you bought.
You got the 4 or 5...
Amazon.com and the...
You know, it sounds awful loud.
Yeah, any of the music coming from you sounds extremely loud.
I wonder if the popping noise is coming from Skype. Let me look at the levels that I got on Skype.
All right. Of course, me clearing my throat in your ears probably isn't helping anything. Horrible radio etiquette.
Okay. Am I still as loud, or I just turned my audio to
you dropped way off.
Is it too low?
Way too low.
How about that? Any tests?
Yeah, that's better. That's a little more like what I'm used to. Now play some music or something.
Be the first to call in 267-507-0240. Yeah, I hear a lot of popping.
You know, I didn't think about it. I don't know why I put the live call-in line up there. We're not going to be taking calls tonight, are we?
No.
Okay. Taking that off the header. So are my levels fine, or you need me to gain down?
No, you don't adjust anything over there.
All right.
Test. Yeah.
No, you sound fine from here.
That's that one. No, I'm just trying to figure out what's what. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
you're used to hearing, but
may have to actually break out a book or something here. Not tonight, but
watch out, everybody. Tony's about to RTFM.
all right. I turned the volume all the way back up on the Skype thing. I don't think it's the Skype. Hola. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, test. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a testicle.
Reminds me of an interview with Mike Rowe I was listening to earlier today.
Oh no. All right, well, I guess this is as good as it's going to get, so sorry, folks. How many times have we said that exact same thing to our girls? Okay, so back to the show notes. Okay, so you see the Amazon you bought and what? Oh, great, you put in the YouTube subscribers.
Yes, sir. And I highlighted 4 things on the Amazon list. Figured 2 of them kind of can go into one, and then there's 2 others that will work pretty good. I mean, if you want to grab a few others, if you want to play off of those, I figured we each do 3 or 4, and that would be plenty for tonight.
Yeah.
Don't have the voicemails listed, but that's not a big deal, I guess. I was looking for a more accurate number of 4 or 5, just so I know what's going on.
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is it including the Josh's Subconscious?
No.
Okay, so we have 6 plus Josh's Subconscious. Okay.
See, is that right?
And then do we also have any reviews for Stitcher or iTunes? Or we want to put that off till next week?
Next week. Didn't get a chance.
Make sure we plug that.
So we got Nikki 1, Nikki 2. I'm about 99% sure that we got one from Amber. Better set that level.
I just wanted you all to know that I am damn proud that I drive a Liberty.
Good for her.
Hey, this is Nikki G. And got a problem with the Jeep this week, I've noticed.
I think the audio is coming in hot from the computer. I think that's what the deal is.
You got a master gain on the computer or on your sound card, your settings there or something.
Yeah, I'm going to check that right now. Oh, I need to play something. Well, let's see. I don't see audio coming out on anything.
This is we're broadcasting to YouTube and the recorder is seeing it, then we're okay for tonight.
Yeah, I thought I might be able to fix it real quick if I just saw where it was coming in at, but I don't see it. I would think it'd be under playback, but I don't see anything active on playback. It's getting pretty late.
Yeah.
So it'll just have to be Poppy. All right, let's see. What am I missing? I've got my show notes.
You got the opener, right?
I got the opener. 13A.
Oh.
All right.
Good.
Breaking news from the...
Yeah. Okay. So, hang on one second. It's that one. Yeah, definitely that one. Hang on one second.
Yeah, bud.
Entertain the folks.
Oh, and I am an entertainer, aren't I? Well, we already got some activity in chat tonight. We actually have a brand new chat feature available through the XJ Talk Show. You just got to go to...
Well, the good news, well, actually no good news, other than I can't hear you now. All right, hang on a second here. They'll probably just have to tell Skype what device we're using. Hola. Yes, see. Yeah, get that one so that you can hear everything. I'm going to call you right back because it looks like it's set properly. It's just not, microphone's not there.
Oh, I see how it is. Start saying something I don't like and you boot me, huh?
You didn't hear me?
No, I didn't hear a word.
Oh, okay. So the whole device wasn't working. Yeah, I said I can't hear you, so I'm going to call you back.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't hear each other. Awesome. No. That's no way to start a show. Speaking of which, I need to take off a layer here.
Oh, sell it for the save it for the final minutes of the show when people are starting to wane.
Yeah, I know. Let's get the show on the road.
From the XJ Talk Show Weather Center. +3 winds and things growing out of the ground. Also, the temperature seems to be rising. This must mean we're all going to die from global warming. Full report coming up right after this.
XJ Talk Show is on the air. Okay, it's a podcast. Oh, you know what I mean. Anyway, here's Tony and Josh.
Howdy, boys and girls. Episode 121. It is 121, right, Josh?
Yeah, that's a palindrome. Whether you say it forwards or backwards, it's the same way.
Yeah, I think I remember a episode of Bob Newhart's show where he went to this genius club and they were talking about palindromes. And they said, "What's your name?" You know, this genius explains everything, and he says, "What's your name?" Bob. And they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have had a little bit of an issue this evening getting things going. There's been a popping noise in the damn audio, and it just drives me crazy. Josh is the same way about our audio, so I'll just apologize ahead of time. I know I shouldn't, Josh, but damn it, it just bothers me.
Well, you know, we're both perfectionists, and while we're having fun with this podcast, might as well give everybody a little bit of the best we can.
Absolutely. So I know you guys are used to seeing the nice new video, you guys that are here on the live show every Thursday, 10 p.m., but we've added a little juice, a little oomph to the show. We've got a little background that says xjtalk.com. You're probably going to see a little more of that here in the future. That was my first run at some animated background. Josh saw it, and he yawned profusely.
Well, you know, and I had to take measures to avoid the bleed over. I got things on my microphone and stuff hanging from the back and all this stuff. And, well, you know, you're messing around with cool new fancy video equipment and stuff like that. Well, you got to have some fun with it.
Absolutely. So, guys, you know the show. You love it. At least I think you do. This is the XJ Talk Show, a podcast about Jeep Cherokees, off-roading, the tech that you need to get there and back. We're here to promote the web's most premier website for all that is Jeep Cherokee, xjtalk.com, the friendliest and most helpful Jeep site on the web. xjtalk.com encourages and answers all questions and concerns that the first-time XJ owners typically have without the flaming or criticism that you see from other sites, all while giving you the best, most in-depth articles and write-ups for repairs and modifications that take your average XJ to the next level. Now, get ready. It's the XJ Talk Show, and it starts right now.
First Week in Jeep.
Well, guys, after the last couple episodes of Renegade bashing, it was brought to my attention that some of the things I've mentioned were not 100% accurate. So I would like to make a formal retraction on the following. In episode 120, I incorrectly stated the production years of the Jeep Renegade, which officially was released between the years of 1970 and 1983 on the CJ5 and CJ7 platforms. And it also made an appearance in the YJ and KJ lines as well. I also called the designers of the Teacup crossover Italian, where in fact the two guys who first penned the design of the new Renegade are in fact American, and who are both recent graduates also of the Detroit's College of Creative Studies. Now, I usually check my research on the stories I present here, and although I editorialize quite a bit, it's all just for fun and entertainment. And I apologize to anyone who was offended by the statements here or who finds any of the information to be inaccurate. And as always, I welcome any and all feedback and, of course, criticism. If there's anything I misquoted or misspoken on, please feel free to let me know. Now, speaking of feedback, now apparently people love the new Cherokee. I, for one, am not one of them, but that's neither here nor there. Now, so much so that the Ohio plant that they are being made at can't keep up with the orders. Now, that very same plant that Mitt Romney said in 2012 they were going to shut down and move to China. Well, that hasn't happened. There's no signs that ever will happen either, at least no time in the foreseeable future anyways. The demand for the new Cherokee has been so high that Jeep plain and simply can't keep up. Orders are backing up, and many people have been forced to wait weeks, if not months, to get their dream Jeep. Boy, dream Jeep and 2014 Cherokee. Now, there's two things I never thought I'd say in the same sentence. So to make sure that Jeep can live up to its promises and to keep the reputations of the dealers in good graces, the Ohio plant is going to be hiring at least 1,000 part-time workers. This is all great news for the current workers and their families, for Ohio, and for Jeep. And right now, virtually everyone is on the payroll there. Everyone who's on the payroll there is working a minimum of 10 hours a day and 6 days a week. That's a long week. Chrysler's already hired 380 of these temp employees and has converted 50 of them to full-time jobs already. Now, if you happen to be waiting for a new Jeep Wrangler or a new Jeep Cherokee, I guess it's great news for you too, since new workers will allow the plant to start running its Wrangler assembly line on Saturdays now. Now, what most people don't know is that 50% of the Cherokees built at the Ohio plant are destined for international markets. It's proving that the global demand for new Cherokees is giving the U.S. market a run for its money. Well, and speaking of money, the new Renegade may have a price tag. Now, while there's no shortage of excitement surrounding the new Jeep Renegade, one of the limiting factors to the little trucklet will be its price. With the Kia Soul starting at $14,900 and the Nissan Juke, its competitors, kicking off at around $18,990. The Renegade can't afford to stray away from that price bracket too much. Rumors have it the Renegade will take off exactly where the Compass left off, with a price tag of around $18,595, which is odd because that is exactly where the Compass's MSRP was. Where this info is coming from, you may ask? And since I know some of you are asking, well, earlier this week, there seemed to be a glitch with Google's data bots, and the price was leaked as the demand for more information about the first subcompact four-wheel drive SUV skyrockets. Now, it seems entirely possible that someone behind the Jeep website or at Google may have plugged the Compass's pricing in by mistake. Of course, it would also make sense for the Renegade to pick up where the Compass did leave off. Obviously, time will tell. Todd Goyer, head of brand communications for Jeep, said the official price is still under wraps and will continue to be so until closer time to launch. So when is the official launch scheduled then? Well, once again, the U.S. market gets the short end of the stick, with the Renegade arriving in the European showrooms during the fourth quarter of this year, while the U.S. dealers can expect to see the new Jeep during the first quarter of next year. That's 2015 for those who have a hard time adding years together like I do. Now, it's still extremely early for us to expect official pricing on the new Renegade, but if Jeep plans to price the Renegade around the same price as the Compass, well, I think that's a rather reasonable goal myself, and I'll most likely fall into the place with global expectations as well. I'll keep you guys apprised of what's happening with the new Renegade and my math skills, and as shows go on. So if you'd like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, please send an email to newstips@xjtalk.com.
Hey, I'd like to thank Tim for calling us out on the accuracy of our stories. And I'd also like to point out that Josh does the stories all himself. He gets it from other people. I'm not involved whatsoever.
I take all the blame. And I wasn't going to call anybody out or name any names, but...
well, I just said Tim. I didn't say first and last name or give an address or country of origin.
On xjtalk.com, there was a thread started all about this, and there was some nice chat going back and forth. And I think his last post was something along the lines of, "Oh man, why you got to be so nice about it? It's no fun trolling now." So
yeah, I got the definite feeling he was trolling. I was trying to get him to call in. I wanted him to call in, and
yeah, that voicemail would have been great.
Yeah, that just makes for good radio. Get somebody all hot. You idiot! You can't do that. You can't add. Nah, he wouldn't go for it. I think he was too smart for me.
Nah, it's okay.
You're listening to the XJ Talk Show. Please help Tony and Josh get more listeners by telling a friend or two or three about the podcast. It's so simple. Just tell them to go to xjtalkshow.com. Okay, look, Tony is really insecure, and he measures his success by how many people listen to the show. He is driving us crazy, so please tell a friend. Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one just sitting there listening to the XJ Talk Show. Why aren't you a part of it? What? Tell me more, you say? Well, it's pretty simple. You can become an XJ Talk Show reporter. All you need is a smartphone and the ability to talk to people. Just email reporter@xjtalk.com for more information.
Hey guys, this is Andy from Ironman4x45.com, also known as Ironman Andy, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Well, now it's time for a little segment that I really come to enjoy, Josh. We get to talk about our new YouTube subscribers.
Yep, our list is growing all the time, and well, there's a chance that your name is on this list, and there's a good chance that it's not, because there's so many names, so many new signers coming up every day. We don't have a chance to get to them all the time, but more than likely, you're going to end up on this list, and you're going to end up on the show. First on the list is Brick Brizzles. There we go.
I was just going to say, you picked some easy ones.
Yeah.
And the second on the list is Bartner 369. I mean, if you're going to have a 69, might as well have three of them, right?
Right. Thunderhead 7 coming in at number 3.
And JT Webb 72. Thanks, guys. I think we're up to 461 subscribers, maybe 462.
Oh, very good. Keep those signatures or those signups coming, and make sure you're telling a friend.
Amazon.com and the XJ Talk Show present You Bought What?
Oh, it's back. I am so anxious for this part of the show, guys. It's been quite a long time since we've done this, so we're going to have a lot of fun. For those of you who are new to the show, let me bring you up to speed real quick. XJ Talk Show and Amazon have a little bit of a buddy-buddy system going on. If you'd like, you're doing some online shopping, head over to the xjtalk.com or xjtalk.com. Click on the Amazon banner that's right there on the homepage. It takes you straight over to amazon.com, where you can do all your normal shopping you normally would. You're not going to pay a dime more, not a red cent more for anything you buy there, but Amazon has agreed to give us a little kickback. It's a great way to support the show, and it's a great way to help out, keep the lights on around here. And, well, they also give us a list of, well, what you guys have been buying. Now, sometimes it's actually kind of, a little funky, sometimes a lot of fun, and sometimes it's really cool. We got some Jeep parts and stuff on here. We've seen some really off-the-wall stuff, too, and so those curveballs we like you guys throwing at us every now and again. So, again, we don't know any names. We don't have any names. All we see are the items that's been purchased, and of course, some price tags that go along with them. So I've picked out a few. I think Tony's picked out a few. The list is just absolutely huge, so we don't have time to go through it all.
No, but let me
pick out a few of our favorites and go for it.
Before you get going, Josh, let me mention when I was pulling up this information tonight, the Amazon You Bought What folks have been very busy. It's much like having a cactus as a plant, and you don't really do anything with it, and it just goes and goes by itself. All it needs, doesn't need water, doesn't need love, nothing. And that's what our Amazon purchases have been going. I really appreciate it, guys. And it kind of makes me think that this segment really isn't necessary.
Well, for entertainment purposes only, I absolutely love this segment. It's a lot of fun. You guys have really had fun with Tony and I with some of the stuff that has ended up on this list before. And there's a couple items on this list tonight that for a second there, for just a split second, you guys had me. But then I kept reading the line. I was like, oh, okay, well, not as fun as I thought it would be, but still cool nonetheless. So one of those things, in fact, falls into the automotive category, which I didn't see at first. And that's kind of a disclaimer because the first two words are lube locker. Now, anybody who's a fan of the show and has heard many of these Amazon You Bought What segments knows that, well, it kind of falls into some of those categories that has thrown us some curveballs before. But no, this is a lube locker Chrysler 8 1/4 differential gasket. And obviously with automotive and lube locker, for those of you who are Jeep fans and, well, have perused the catalogs and the online shopping quite a bit, you know what a lube locker is. It's an awesome gasket for your differential. No more RTV. It's all about the lube locker. You buy it one time, and every time you service the gears, you got to drain your fluid, throw in a locker, do a gear change, something like that. Don't have to mess with that RTV goop. No more cleaning it off. Nope, it's a gasket for your differential, and it works.
Yeah, great stuff. And boy, this one just really stood out, and hats off to the gentleman or lady that purchased this, an Apple iPod Touch, 64 gigabyte black. Josh, they paid $200 for this thing, and they remembered XJ Talk Show before they purchased it.
That is fantastic. That is a 4th generation iPod that they picked up, and yeah, $200 price tag with that. We only get a very, very small percentage of that, so we'd like to see those big ticket items. It really helps with keeping the website updated. Like I said earlier, keeping the lights on. So we really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now in the automotive section, again, I've got something here that one of the things I've been looking at, as you've heard the last couple of episodes, I've been looking at some ball joints, and somebody else picked up on that, and they picked up one of the sets that I've been eyeballing myself. This is the Alloy USA 11801 is the part number. It's a ball joint kit for a Jeep Jeep Cherokee and Wrangler. It's all 4 pieces, and it's under $116.
I really thought that was yours, Josh, when I saw that, especially whenever you selected that as being one that you were going to read. I thought you were going to say, and I bought that.
Now, this kit isn't mine, but I think I know who that might have been. I think this might have ended up going to a 92 War Wagon's house.
Oh, okay.
Ended up picking up a set of these for his cousin, in fact, and just a couple of weeks ago, we were over there and swapping those things out. I got to see them firsthand, and they definitely are beef.
Hey, I like this. I may have to look this one up to put on my new big ass toolbox. It says, "Warning: keep your hands off my toolbox." It's a toolbox bumper sticker / decal. I guess you could put it on a truck or your Jeep or whatever, but I think it's right on the side of the big case toolbox roll around type thing would be nice.
Yeah, I don't have a big roll around quite as well. Mine isn't quite as big as yours, Tony.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've got a bunch of stickers and bumper stickers and stuff on my own toolboxes, and man, that's where that kind of stuff belongs, in the garage, up on your toolbox. Keep your hands off my tools. Well, let's see, we've got a two-piece item here. This one falls in the tools and hardware category, and these definitely go together. And speaking of garages and stuff, somebody is outfitting their garage a little bit better with a Nico 50-piece pegboard set to organize your garage and workshop. And along with that, they bought the Stanley Pegboard Hook Assortment Kit, a 51-piece kit, both of those for, well, less than $20 total. And they're going to be not redesigning, but certainly re-outfitting their garage, getting some organization on their side. Really cool. For less than $20, getting a whole bunch of stuff from Amazon to hook up your garage.
Yep. And we're going to round it out with a book. And I don't know if you guys are aware of the Raspberry Pi. It's a little simple computer that runs an ARM processor, which is very popular in cell phones. But you can run Linux and stuff on this little computer. And they're about, I guess they're about $40 for the whole thing. You get a supply keyboard, mouse, monitor, and everything else, but kind of cool, little throwaway, almost disposable computer. Anyway, the book was Raspberry Pi for Dummies.
That'd be something I'd pick up. I know about the Raspberry Pi. It's definitely kind of geeky stuff, but for those of you who are in the know, definitely some cool stuff. You got to check it out.
Absolutely. All right, Josh, this is the fun part, the chit chat.
Well, I thought we had an outro for this segment.
It's been so long, I forgot all about it.
Well, we can roll.
You just found out what you bought.
Oh my God, I just can't believe that made it on the list.
And I'll play this one too. Be the first to call in 267. So I love that one. That was always fun, especially when nobody would call in, and it was.
Yeah, right. Now we did have a couple of those when we were playing Amazon You Bought and What, and we'd have our live call-in line open, and yeah, sometimes the calls would flood in. Sometimes they wouldn't. And those were the shows that were a little more fun.
It was funny because the people that had already won before, they weren't calling in because they didn't want to be greedy. That was great. A great non-greedy audience. It's always the best thing to have. All right, man. Let's talk about ball joints. There's going to be some more hot ball joint activity later in the show.
No, it's going to be four shows in a row now. Some hot ball joint talk. Yeah, no, yeah. I finally made my decision, guys. I bit the bullet. I wouldn't say bit the bullet. I'm proud of this purchase, and I can't wait for these things to get in. I bought the Alloy USA kit. I went with that direction mainly because I've seen them in hand. I really didn't see any really big differences over the Synergy kit, other than they cost twice as much, or the Synergy kit cost twice as much rather. There was a couple things in the Synergy kit that I was noticing that kind of rubbed me a little bit of the wrong way. One of the things is their manufacturing process uses sintered metal, and basically means they take dust metal and they compress it under high heat and turn it into a liquid, and it forms the thing. Basically, they're taking a powder and turning it into liquid, and that creates the metal, which creates the ball joints. And to me, I don't know, it didn't sound like it could be all that strong. I know it's strong.
I thought it was chrome moly. Is that chrome moly whenever they do that to it? I don't know what chrome moly is, other than it's...
Now, I'm going to show my ignorance here and say I don't know. And it very well could be. But either way, well, I think, no, chrome moly is adding a bit of nickel to the steel or something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I really thought the synergies were chrome moly.
No, synergies are not chromoly. That's the one thing that I thought as well. But reading upon the process in which they're manufactured, this sintering process, to me it seems like like building a sandcastle. You take sand, you get it kind of wet, you compress it a little bit, and boom, you've got a structure. Mm-hmm. And although that works great for building mermaids on the beach, not so much for ball joints in the Jeep. So it just one thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And the other thing was that the ball joint for the bottom joint has these grooves that are in the ball, and I'm sure they're just for trapping grease or for allowing grease and gases or whatever to escape, to make sure the whole ball stays lubricated. We're getting into that hot ball talk now. But no, and to me that kind of seems like a weak point. If the joint itself is designed the right way, you don't need those striations around the ball joint to get the grease where it needs to go. The design inherently will keep the grease where it should be if it's designed properly. Reducing the amount of mass in that ball to make sure grease gets where it needs to be because you didn't do it right the first time around, to me just sounds like, well, that was kind of a Band-Aid. It was a last-minute sort of thing, and it was kind of a fix to an issue that they saw during R&D. I don't know. I'm merely speculating on that. So just a couple things that made me choose to go the Alloy USA route versus the Synergy one. So they're going to be here next Wednesday, 2 days after you're hearing this podcast, if you're listening via podcast.
Yeah. Well, damn it. I guess I'm going to have to go read too, because now I'm not sure. I mean, I thought I had read Chrome Moly, but maybe I didn't. So that just seems strange how you would take a bunch of metal particles and push it together and call it good. I would think that would be kind of like the particle board 4x8 sheets of something that's not plywood at the local hardware store or the lumber store.
Well, and to me, it seems like it leaves the door open for too much of a possibility for imperfections, for flaws within the material or something like that. Now, obviously, that can happen with anything, and there's no telling. I'm going to knock on wood right now, but hopefully, QC did a good job on the Alloy USA ball joints that I have coming, and they passed all the spec and inspection and everything else. So. But it's just the manufacturing process, I think, was the biggest thing for me that made me go with the Alloy USA versus the Synergy.
Well, it'll be, I guess you really won't know until the 100 or so thousand miles has passed. So, but frankly, if you get 100,000 miles out of it, at that point, you're like, well, I got my money's worth. And really, for $116, it's
for all four.
Yeah. So I think I paid $100 for the spicers. I think they were $50 a side.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I mean, this is like $16 more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting some kind of weird feeling, and I don't know if my tires maybe are just over aired, but kind of a weird feeling on the front end, and I don't know if it's ball joints or not. I have noticed that. What I thought the problem that I was having with ball joints has seemed to be minimized as the temperature outside has heated up. Now, I guess that could mean that the ball joints themselves are heating up and they're gripping the internal structure better, but I'm not having the same kind of feeling when I'm driving the Jeep now. It feels a lot more solid.
Let me ask you then, have you gotten one of the corners up in the air and gotten a pry bar on the wheel and kind of started moving things around and seeing if you've got a bad wheel bearing or a bad ball joint or had one of the family members hop in the Jeep and work the steering wheel while you examine the tie rod ends and stuff?
Well, again, tie rod ends are new. I mean, the stuff is only about maybe 2 years old. I know anything can go bad at any time, but yeah, that's how we found several of the issues before I changed out all the front end parts. Don't have a pry bar. I guess I should go to Amazon and look for one of those big ass screwdrivers that won't fit any screws. Yeah. So like I'd mentioned before, the only thing I've done is put one tire in the air at a time and tried wiggling it. So just have to wait and see. I guess I could take it down to Firestone for an alignment, and whenever they go, okay, we're ready to align it, go, oh, you didn't find any ball joint problem? Nope, I'll take it down. I don't need it aligned. I can just get them to tell me.
Well, I would imagine that at some point over the last few years that you would have had the Jeep aligned, especially if you replace some ball or some tie rod ends and stuff. Don't they have like a lifetime warranty on the alignment, or at least a 3-year, come back as many times as you need to check it or something like that kind of warranty?
Yeah, but do you remember the post about the shop fee at NTB?
Oh, that's right.
It just pissed me off. They were charging me like, I don't know, $30 or $8 or $15. It just pissed me off, man. Shop fee. What the hell is a shop fee? I asked them, I said, it's an alignment. What are you charging me $15 for a shop? Oh, everybody does it. No, not everybody, because I would have noticed it and I would have bitched to them. So, so no, I think I did pay for a multi-alignment with NTB, but screw them. I'm not going back. And that's one of the reasons why we went to Firestone, is that I just didn't want to mess with that. And, they have something on there. I think I've got it here. I'll probably look at it while you're talking, but I think they actually have something on there, but they don't call it a shop fee.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably something like, disposal fee or one-time service charge fee, or it's file it into the luxury tax category. If you're driving a car, it's a luxury item, and if you need it aligned well, you're obviously doing well enough that we can charge you for it.
Well, wait a minute. They gave me a work order number. I mean, a work order for. Yeah, that's right. So now this was a quote. Okay, so on the quote they have shop supplies, $7.08. Now this was a quote for new tires and brake fluid exchange, and I mean, my God, I mean, I know they're in there to make money, but I went in there for an alignment, and they gave my girls a quote for tires, brake fluid exchange. Let's see what else is on here. Lifetime rubber valve. That's always important.
Oh, and the muffler bearings.
Yes, and the blinker fluid.
Yes, waiting for that one.
So this alignment was $85.19. Yep. Shop supplies $4.80.
Yeah, see,
rat bastards.
Yep.
I'm gonna go set fire to that place.
Firestone, get it? No, it's that nickel and diming and stuff. They can do it, 70, 80 times a month, 100 times a month, times 10,000 stores across the nation or whatever. That's a big chunk of money, added to the bottom line every year. And most people aren't going to itemize their work order, their receipt. They're not going to look through it like guys like you or I will, and see this kind of stuff. So they're getting away with it 99.9% of the time.
Hey, next time you guys go to a shop, Firestone, NTB, Discount Tires, anybody, look at the bill before you pay it. And if you see some rat bastard crap charge, whether it is shop fees or shop supplies or whatever, just put on there, make sure they have them either change it to money for nothing or remove it from the bill.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Let us
call them on it.
Yes,
hey,
and
you
let
guys
us
are calling
know.
me on stuff like this on the podcast. You shouldn't have any problem calling out people that are trying to screw you for money out of your wallet.
And let us know. Let us know how it goes. And if you have to, you can invoke the XJ Talk Show name. Say the XJ Talk Show told me to question this and not to pay it. Damn it.
That's right. Yes, feel free to name drop.
And when they look at you like you're insane, pull out the tinfoil hat and say, "I'm Nikki G, and I'm here to help."
I'm here to help. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to be anxiously awaiting. Anxiously awaiting the ball joints. Those are going to be here Monday. So I have them shipping to my work. So I'll be getting those right in the middle of the work week.
You're not going to get anything done. You're going to be sitting there at your desk playing with your ball joints. Have the decency to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I have a package arrived. I'm going to be in this room back here for about 15, 25 minutes.
And the sad thing is, especially around an engineering type thing, you're going to have 5 or 6 guys, manly men, wanting to look at and handle your ball joints.
Yeah, exactly. Hands off my ball joints. No, it should be a lot of fun. I know it's like they call it the brown truck Santa Claus or something like that.
Oh yeah, the brown Santa.
It's always Christmas when a package shows up with your name on it. So yeah, it'd be really cool. And of course, I'll take a picture and I'll post it up on xjtalk.com and stuff like that. And you can look forward to me doing a full write up both in my build thread and across the website as well. You guys will have some pictures, maybe even some video and stuff as well. Maybe we'll do one of those fancy time lapse videos or something with the GoPro. Should be a lot of fun.
Excellent. Well, I think we should roll into our next Radiocom Tech segment, Josh. I really want to thank Pre-Runner 1982 for doing these. It's been great to have these things. It's a whole new segment, a whole new bit of information that we're here to be able to share with you guys. And by the way, the audio's improved a little bit. Pre-Runner 1982 has done a little extra and improved the already great audio for this segment.
And now it's time for some Radiocom Tech.
Another warrior is on the mesa.
This is John, Pre-Runner 1982, and if you listened to last week's episode of the XJ Talk Show, you'll remember that I discussed CB radios. This week, I'm going to discuss antennas, probably the most important part of your CB radio system. There are two things to take into consideration with your antenna. Not only where and how you mount it, but also the length of the antenna. Now, I always advise to run the longest antenna you can get away with. Now, the most efficient antenna is going to be a 102-inch whip, but most people aren't going to run an antenna that long, mainly due to height concerns such as parking in a garage. If that is something you have to deal with, I would suggest sticking with the 4 to 5 foot length antennas. Nothing shorter. I've had to work on a lot of Jeeps with shorter antennas around the 2 to 3 foot range, and they just can't get the SWRs to come down. Even with a properly placed mount, the SWRs will not come down below 2.5. And in every case, I've taken my 102-inch whip, placed it on their mount, and the SWRs will immediately come down to about 1.2. It just shows how inefficient such a short antenna is. So as I have said, the longer the antenna, the better. Also, the more of the antenna that you can get above the top of the vehicle, the better your signal is going to get out. Where and how the antenna is mounted also plays a vital role in how well your CB radio system will work. The best place to mount your antenna is on the top center portion of your vehicle if it has a solid metal roof like Jeep Cherokee does. This gives the antenna the most omnidirectional signal as possible. However, for whatever reason, most people prefer to mount the antenna on the back corners or at the very back of the vehicle. This is also a compromise to your signal. It directs the signal more towards the front of the vehicle and not so much towards the rear of the vehicle. Another consideration is how and where the mount is placed on the body. The mount has to have a good ground with the body of the vehicle, as the body acts as part of the antenna, or a reflector of sorts. And if that good ground connection is not present, the antenna will send the signal back down the coax to your radio. But we will talk more about that later. It seems a lot of the mounts on the market today, especially for the Wranglers that I see, are not only powder coated, but also made to be mounted in the wrong spots. Now, the powder coating means that you not only have to scrape off the powder coating below where the antenna mounts, but also where the mount attaches to the body. A lot of the mounts are also made to bolt to either the tailgate or the spare tire carrier. And this is probably the most inefficient place to mount an antenna, as neither of those places have a good ground connection with the body because of the hinges. The hinges are isolated. There is very little to no metal-to-metal contact in those hinges. Therefore, you have to run a separate ground strap from the tailgate or from the spare tire carrier to the body of the vehicle, which can be done and work fine, but it adds extra cost and extra time and difficulty to the process. Also, just another part to fail, causing your system not to work effectively. The strap could break, it could rust, or it could corrode, causing a poor signal and your SWRs to go up. Probably the most common place to mount the antenna on a Jeep Cherokee is on a mount that utilizes the upper bolts for the tail light on either side. Now, when deciding what side to put your antenna on, if you're running a long antenna, you have to take into consideration things such as drive-through overhangs and trees on the side of the road. I actually have my antenna on the driver's side. Not only can I see it, but it also avoids trees that overhang the road if I'm in the right-hand lane. And that was a major consideration for me. As I run such a long antenna, I come in contact with more trees on a daily basis than I do drive-thrus. So I mounted mine on the driver's side to avoid those trees. So you've picked out your antenna, you decided where you're going to mount it, but now you have to connect it to the radio. Check the SWR, but we'll discuss that next week. And remember, xjtalk.com is where I go when I'm not off-road.
And sound effects. Well, I was just reading in the comment section that pre-runner John in pre-runner 1982 actually had a blanket over his head while he was recording that.
Call him out.
No, it's great because you and I suffer over the quality of the show. So it's heartwarming to see that we're not the only people that are insane. No, it's heartwarming to see that other people care about the quality of the product that they put out. And, hats off, but without actually taking the hat off to John for going through that. And now I'll mention this for any of you folks that would like to join us on the show. Like Josh has often said, There's always a third seat open here, whether you have a ball joint in the seat or not. And but you can join us and do some one of these segments, a Jeep radio contact segment, or a Jeep Wrangler segment. Anything's open to anybody, even a Jeep tip segment that Steve traditionally does. One of the things I've told each one of these guys, and I'll tell you, you can go into a closet with a lot of heavy clothing, or just, your regular clothing, but especially winter clothing, stuff that's heavy, and it will knock down the noise. You'll knock down that reflection, and it'll be all you on the audio, and of course that's what we want. But just like I've told Josh, the most important thing is your involvement. We're not so concerned about the audio quality that we're going to say, nope, sorry, you didn't make the cut. Come back when you've learned how to do it better. Not at all. We all learn. It's the same thing on xjtalk.com. We're not going to keep you from participating just because you're not the most best person at your XJ or your audio recording. The content is what we want. So if you guys would like to join in on us and to the fun, we'd love to have you.
Absolutely, guys. And just like Tony said, yeah, it's not always about the quality. It's definitely the quantity. Having you guys participate and add to the show just makes so much more fun. It just makes this whole thing so much more fun. And obviously getting you guys involved in it as well. It's a lot of fun for Tony and I, getting to interact with you guys on a different level than we normally would, just sitting here talking to, a camera, talking to you guys through a podcast or something like that. So big thanks again, John, for doing that, and keep up the good work under the blanket. So, hey guys, we got some reviews, Stitcher, iTunes reviews that we will be sharing with you guys next week, and we'll also be bringing back Rob, hopefully with another segment about Wrangler tech as well. So next week, you guys can be looking forward to some of that content that you've been seeing over the last few weeks, and hopefully some more stuff coming from John as well.
Yep. Well, we'll have another one from John next week, and actually we got a Wrangler segment this week, Josh.
Oh, very good. I'm sorry, I didn't see it in the show notes, so I am unprepared. My apologies.
No, you're. I guess it's a good tease because there's not one. Oh, there is one. So that works out. No, I was just noticing. Speaking of show notes, I skipped right down a few steps there. We need to get back up to our voicemails. We got lots of voicemails this week.
Yeah, we certainly do.
Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey, wanted to say I enjoy the show. Love what you guys talk about. Love what you do. I personally have a 2010 JK Wrangler, but no big deal. Can't actually leave a review on your podcast because Windows Phone sucks, but that's cool. Would totally give you guys 5 stars if I could. I haven't actually registered on the forum yet, but plan on doing that when I get home. Again, Windows Phone sucks. Can't do it where I'm at now. I actually had a question about the winch from the Wrangler talk. I heard that synthetic rope, you can't tie it onto itself, but you can with cable rope. Is that true or no? Okay, thanks. Bye.
I'll need to check on that. I don't have synthetic line on my winch, and I haven't had to tie it up yet. But I believe Rob said in the last, or maybe the Wrangler segment prior to that, or maybe it was Steve. Maybe Steve said it. I can't remember now. But anyway, I think that the winch line, the steel winch line, can be rebraided together. But is that the synthetic? I'm pulling a blank. I can't remember, John.
Well, either way, if you have some fraying or something like that, the cable should probably be replaced. The synthetic stuff, well, it's synthetic. It can be melted back together. It can be rebraided with the proper equipment and stuff like that. And I suppose, through various techniques of either welding or rewinding, you can do the same thing with cable. Either way, it's going to be a lot of trouble. And for safety's sake, when it comes down to rescuing your vehicle or pulling somebody else out of a life or death situation, you want to have the best recovery equipment you possibly can. And so it's always a good idea to inspect your cable, to inspect your rope, whether it's synthetic, whether it's cable, whatever you're running in your winch. Pull it out every now and again and go over it really good and make sure that you don't have any kinks, you don't have any frays or cuts or anything like that. So as far as tying it to itself, Now, obviously, 3/8 inch cable would be very hard to tie to itself. But I suppose it could theoretically be done. I suppose you could do the same thing with synthetic. The difference is with the synthetic, you're going to have a hard time untying it. Probably the same thing with cable. And if you pull against a cable that's tied to itself, chances are it's going to kink. And, well, obviously you're going to be wanting to replace that as well. So in any case, either case, probably not a good idea to tie it to itself unless it's an absolute emergency situation and you've got nothing else at your disposal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like a trail repair type thing. But I would hope that this, either whether it was synthetic line or cable, it would be replaced right after you got you out or got a buddy out of what they needed to get out of.
Hey, this is Nikki G. And got a problem with the Jeep this week. I've noticed I'm driving down the road with my wife. There seems to be a large or very loud whining noise coming from the right side of the vehicle.
I see what's coming.
I don't know what that could be. So my question is how do I complete level 92 in Candy Crush and free the Gumball Princess? Yeah, since Josh is not on Facebook, probably doesn't get that. All right, gentlemen, I'll chat at you later. I gotta go fix the couch stuff I got to do, and I'll be sleeping on it for a while. All right, talk to you later. You have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, after that one, I think Mrs. G is going to be locking the bedroom door. You'll be playing that Candy Crush all by yourself.
And here's another one that they didn't give their name. And I after we hear this, it'll probably be clear as to why, because of what she likes. But I think we know who this is.
I just wanted you all to know that I am damn proud that I drive a Liberty. Kinda. I think. Donate to my Wagoneer build. I take check, PayPal, credit card, or cards. Just let me know.
Now, I think she said her Wagoneer build.
Yes, that's what I heard as well, and that kind of gives it away for those who are regulars to the xjtalk.com website. That's definitely one of our moderators, former XJ owner, current Liberty owner, and in possession of a Wagoneer project that she's very anxious to get started.
Now, I noticed the other day, I moved between windows at work, and I noticed that you guys were talking. Amber and you and John, I think, were all talking about Amber buying another XJ, and she was trying to decide if she was going to sell the quad or the what was it, not the Wagoneer and stuff, to buy a new XJ. Now, what finally came of that? Did she just wash her hands of the whole thing and staying with the Liberty and the Wagoneer?
It was Blue Dragon, I think, was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the devil on one shoulder. He's the angel on the other shoulder, and it's very rare that he and I both give her the same advice. So it's a lot of fun. They're playing devil's advocate, and a lot of it's just for grins and giggles and stuff like that. But no, in all honesty, she is torn because this Wagoneer is kind of falls into that dream vehicle category. And she's got it, and it's not exactly in running condition right now. The body is super straight. It's already got a little bit of a lift on it, and it's a perfect platform to start building off of. Honestly, when it's all said and done, she's going to have one heck of a vehicle. The issue is that she really, really loved her XJ, and she very much misses having a Cherokee. And there's that need for that instant gratification to get back what you once had, to gain what you had lost prior, and so that drive to can I make it all happen? Can I liquidate this? Can I sell that? Can I still get a Cherokee and do my Wagoneer project? It's a horrible internal struggle that hopefully she's conquered. And I'm pretty sure that she's settled on the Wagoneer because it's really something that's been driving her for a while. It's really something that she wants to get up and going so that she can enjoy it. And it's just really steps away from being drivable at this point. Now, obviously, once it's drivable, the project's not done. She's got a lot of plans for it. And hopefully those will get handled sooner than later. Talking about layaway, stuff like that. So she's got a plan. The plan is set for the Wagoneer. That's going to happen regardless. Now, whether or not she can, hold off the bug of getting an XJ for another, year or two until the Wagoneer's finished, I don't know. If it was me, boy, I'd be selling blood or something like that to make sure I had that extra Jeep fund. I might have to get myself a little Cherokee to play with.
Well, I used to say it's not like they don't make Cherokees anymore, but they don't. But now they do, and they're more popular than ever.
Yeah, it's not one that she wants though.
So anyway, yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there is a little chat section. Online chat section on the xjtalk.com website. It's near the top of every page, so it actually allows you to read posts, comment on posts, and reply, as it's also called. And you can also keep up with what's going on in chat and do a couple of drive-by comments like I like doing.
Oh yeah, now there's a few of you that do that, and it's a lot of fun, folks. You can find me in there just about any given day. During regular business hours, Monday through Friday, I'm in there, kind of messing around and doing the sniper attacks as well. Sometimes I'm very active, so I encourage you guys to pop in there and say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, XJ Talk. This is Dan Whittington in the Salt Lake, Utah area, home of the Mormons and polygamy. Anyway, I wonder if you guys give me a call back. I'd like to find out more about your show. I'm producing or making a hybrid supercharger that works really good on these Jeeps. Getting some pretty good results with it. Or you can look at me on the web at www.airlutionstech.com. Thanks.
Put it on your list, Josh, because I'm going to forget. We need to call the guy. Maybe we can get a little impromptu interview with him.
I didn't catch that email or that website address. Was it Evolutions Tech?
I'll have to go back and maybe put it in the show notes because unfortunately the board doesn't let me play the segments. I have to replay the whole thing.
Well, either way, Mormon Dan, expect a phone call here pretty soon. When you say supercharger and Jeep, well, you definitely got my ears perked up.
Hey, this is Zach, XJ 1993. I was talking to a buddy of mine who recently had the displeasure of riding in a 2014 Cherokee, and I believe the text that he sent me was that it was kind of like riding in a tampon, but he was pretty sure that a tampon would wheel better than that new Cherokee. So just thought I'd pass the first-hand experience on to you guys and just let you know that the show rocks and keep up the good work. Thanks.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that, man. On the scenes reporting of a recent Cherokee review there. That is absolutely great. So thanks, Zach, XJ 1993. Good work, man.
Normally I don't like suck ups, but I like that suck up. Oh, and that's a pun. Tampon suck up. Anyway, moving along.
Hey, this is Mickey G, and I caught the show last night. All I gotta say is, how many times do I have to tell you people over and over again, do not run your microwave and your toaster oven at the same time. Negative ions creates a black hole. You're lucky you just popped a breaker first, Tony. You could have lost your garlic knots. And that's just my 2 cents. Oh, about the Jeep Renegade. I didn't know Jeep was making such a vehicle. I'm glad they're finally making something that has the off-road capability as my lawnmower. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. You have a good one. Bye.
It's a pusher.
Yeah.
And did you cheat? Did you listen to this week's Josh's Subconscious?
No, I didn't. I've made a vow, even though that Tony and I share this Dropbox where we can upload files to each other and stuff like that. I have made a vow to not pre-listen to any of the Josh's Subconsciouses because I did it one time and it kind of spoiled it. And ever since then I was like, okay, no, I have to keep it fresh and unheard. So each of the Josh's Subconsciouses are virgin to my ears.
Yeah, I have to tell you that in a little chat session with the individual that does the Josh's Subconscious, he was a little down because you weren't as excited about the offering that he had given. And I told him, I said, well, he listened to it ahead of time, and I was going to try to move it so he wouldn't be able to get to it just in case. I think it was like the second one or third one that he did.
Yeah, I think it was right around the second or third one too. Yep.
So anyway, it apparently worked because we've been getting them pretty regular. Anyway, Here's this week's offering of Josh's Subconscious.
And now, another message from Josh's Subconscious. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, we keep talking about ball joints a lot. And every time we do, I keep hearing It's Raining Men playing in my head over and over and over. It's so much fun. It makes me want to go watch Magic Mike again for the 12th time today. Anyway, so I get to go take one of these lucky guys out in the woods or wherever it is that he wants to go for a nice wheeling trip. But here's the thing, I'm going to try to find a cave and we're going to have a little bit of snuggle poo time. I just got to get my Jeepy Weepy all fixed up. Oh crap, I'm missing RuPaul's Drag Race. Gotta go. Toodaloo, toodaloo.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, you'll find me in the cave in the woods. That's for sure. Doing a little bit of broke back wheeling, I guess.
I don't, man cave seemed to have written itself. I don't know why that wasn't used.
Right.
So I forgot about that.
times.
What happened with the pay for play type thing? Did you do that? Are you still doing it?
I will still be doing it. I was mistaken on the time frame. I thought it was going to be the end of March. It's going to be the end of April. So that's going to be here in just another few weeks or so.
You gonna get the ball joints replaced prior to going, or are you gonna get
of
the
course,
last?
yeah. So the ball joints are going to be here next Wednesday. So for those of you who are listening to the podcast, that's just a couple days after you're hearing this. And I'm planning on doing them that weekend. So. If it doesn't happen that weekend, it'll happen the weekend after, and then I'll still have at least another week or two before we go wheeling. So I will have a shakedown run as well. So hopefully some back-to-back wheeling trips here in the very near future. And as always, I'll be definitely sharing with you guys my experiences.
Excellent. Well, as we always seem to do, run a little long, and we're going to jump right into Rob's Wrangler segment. And Rob makes an interesting decision about the show. So listen up, guys.
Hi, I'm Rob from CoolGuyStuff.tv. We're here for our fourth segment on all things Wrangler. I don't know if you noticed, but every week I make up a new name because we don't actually have a name for this segment. So maybe we can just call it All Things Wrangler. So from now on, this segment is going to be called All Things Wrangler. And for our month anniversary, I wanted to do something very special. I wanted to not just review something myself, but the enthusiasm and the excitement that a guy has after he just puts something cool on his Jeep is way better than an independent review. So I wanted to bring a friend of mine in, Scott, to tell us what we just got done doing to his Jeep. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Rob.
All right, so what'd you do?
I put in a 3.5-inch Rubicon Express lift on my 2012 Jeep Wrangler.
There you go. So 3.5, and it gave you 3.5-inch real 3.5. So what did it give you?
It gave me 5 inches.
All right, good.
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger than we thought.
It looks great though.
Yes, it does. It's pretty big.
So right away, what made you choose a 3.5-inch Rubicon Express versus one of the other lifts that are
I chose the Rubicon Express because of the upgradability. Because you can upgrade to the short arm or I just got the standard lift, but I can upgrade to the short arm or long arm lift as soon as, with pretty ease.
There you go. So one of the great things about the Rubicon Express is it's fully upgradable. Where some of these lifts you have to start all over with a new lift.
Right.
So the Rubicon Express gives you a fully upgradable experience when you get a lift.
Yes.
And it puts you up several inches. And with that Rubicon Express lift, what does it come with?
What do you mean?
Like what all does it have? Does it have
spring shocks?
Does it come with the shocks?
Yeah. Well, I bought the shocks with it. It
Okay.
comes with the shocks. It's like $900 for the spring shock, lift, bumpers, the whole thing.
So they give you an option to get shocks or not?
Yeah. You don't have to buy the shocks, and I think it's like $500 or something like that.
Okay, for the shocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or $500 without the shocks, then you pay an extra $350 or something like that. I had to get the extension for the exhaust also.
Okay.
Because I didn't get the new drive shafts yet.
So when you put a lift like this on your car, what can you expect to have to upgrade?
Well, you're supposed to upgrade the drive shafts,
Okay.
but you don't need to right away, from what I understand. You can get the extension.
We'll find out
for your
first time we go out.
Yeah. I've already broke the car once, 3 weeks in. You're supposed to get, when you get the new tires and stuff, you have to get new gears. It can get to be a pretty costly
So
situation.
when it comes to gearing, so you put a lift, you put this 3.5-inch lift on your car, and then when it comes to gearing, what is the size tire that your Jeep is recommended, or your lift recommends you to put new gearing in?
35 is the most you're supposed to put with this size lift.
Okay, so 35, you'll probably lose a little gas mileage, and you probably won't be able to get over 60, but Jeeps only go about 65 anyway, so you're not losing a whole lot, right?
Right.
Okay, so you put this lift on, you get the springs,
Yeah.
you get the shocks, you get what else?
You get the tracker bar, you get, I don't know, what else came with it?
You get the bumps.
Bump stops, just the typical stuff for
all the basics.
Just a basic lift, yeah.
And the retail price on it is what?
I think it's like,
including shocks.
Oh, it was like $8.99 or something like that.
So like $500 without and $8.99 with?
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You did a lot of research on lifts?
I did. Yeah, we were going to go Terraflex or one of the other brands, or even ProComp, because they got it through Four Wheel Parts dealership, so they could give me the best deal on ProComp or Rubicon Express. It was just the reviews I read, it was other people just reviewing it, and the one thing that I just kept coming back to is that the Rubicon Express was more upgradable. So as we go, because the two of us go together, you and I go together, and as we get more involved in this, it'll be nicer to upgrade it because I tend to break things a little bit easier. So,
if you look at my Jeep is a 2011 Wrangler.
Yeah.
I've taken it to the mountains. I've taken it in the mud. I've taken it in the water. I've taken it through the bushes. I've gotten scratches. I've done all the dirty junk that you do to Wranglers. Just like Scott. The only difference is mine still looks nice, and his looks like a 1923 Jeep Wrangler already. It's trash.
Mine's a man's Jeep. His is like a little girl's Jeep. It's all pristine and all
I like
pretty.
to take care of my stuff.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You get it dirty and you wash it.
Jeeps aren't supposed to
Just
look
like
like
you
that.
take a shower
No,
at
Jeeps
night.
aren't supposed to look like that. And who says I take a shower at night?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you have a Rubicon Express 3.5 inch lift.
Yes.
And you haven't put the tires on. You're going after this little deal here to put actual tires on.
We are going.
What is your experience up to this point with it?
I love it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And what do you love about it most?
Well, first of all, I'm being made fun of a lot at work because
tires?
I have the little baby
He
tires.
has the factory tires on it.
Yeah, the factory 17-inch tires. I did get new wheels, but it still looks pretty funny with these little baby tires on it. So people are making fun of me.
I didn't think it'd look that bad. I mean, it will look way better, trust me. But
Right.
It doesn't look horrible.
Right. So
what do you like most about it?
I like it's just the appearance at this point, because that's all we've had. I mean, we haven't been able to test it out. Every time we do go out, I do bottom out a lot, so I assume it's going to help me out. Yeah, it's going to help me out.
Does it ride?
It rides pretty much the same. It's a little, it's
a little stiffer?
It's a little squishier. If I hit something, it's definitely stiffer. But in overall, it moves a little bit, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Have you taken off, like, from 0 to however fast you can get and hit a speed bump yet, just to test it out?
No, but I do. When I hit a speed bump, because I just go regular speed over speed bumps, you can feel a little bit more. Because the springs are like almost twice as thick as the stock springs that I had. They were huge, remember?
Yep.
Those are pretty big.
All right, so this thing, the best thing about this lift, not the best thing, but one of the great things about this lift you were not easily, but you were able to install it fairly easily.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah.
So the standards, people look at lifts and they think, oh man, I got to have somebody do this. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, yeah.
But everything is pretty much bolt on.
Yeah.
We didn't need a lift for it.
No.
We just jacked up the front end, took care of the front first, set it down, jacked up the rear, took care of the rear, set it down, and it was done.
Yeah, we had one floor jack, we had 2 jack stands, a couple blocks of wood, and just some regular tools. I mean, it wasn't anything big, and it was pretty easy. We had to do 2 little holes for the bump stops, and that was it. Other than that, there was just regular
bolts.
Yeah, it was really easy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So everybody, would you say that even people that what level would you grade this for installation?
Like give me a parameters of your.
So you have a guy that buys a Jeep that is not.
You wouldn't, as long as he has some kind of.
If he could read instructions, he could install the lift.
And if he doesn't have an idea of what the part actually is, like a track bar or something like that, he can always just Google it and see what exactly it is. Yeah,
YouTube probably give you step by step, right?
Yeah, my stepbrother, which helped us put it in, he had been putting in lift kits for a long time, for years, and he had me do most of the work. And he said this was really. He had done some Terraflex and some Pro Comps and stuff like that, and he just said this one was really easy and really worked out nice.
So from all the research, all the going through the process of the install and everything, I would say, and I think you would agree, that the Rubicon, and for my own personal uses, I've had different kind of lifts along the way, from body lifts to suspension. The last suspension lift I had, I really didn't like it very much at all. It was just cheap to me, and I went cheap. So, but this Rubicon Express seems to be pretty beefy. It's fully upgradable. It's easy to install. Took about 5.5 hours, and that's just in the driveway with no power tools.
Right.
And it looks great, and we'll be looking forward to getting it out on the trail, right? And today you're going to go get some sweet tires.
I am.
I recommend the BFGs.
I'm going with the Duratrack.
But you go with the Duratrack?
Yes.
It's your ride, so there you go.
Right. So that's my deal. I'm going right after this, going to get them.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's it for us today. Go out and get yourself a Rubicon Express 3.5-inch standard lift for about $500. You can add the shocks, add another $400 or $500 for the shocks, and you can feel free to install that yourself in your driveway. 1, 2, 3, very easily. And
you want a flat driveway.
You do want a flat driveway. That's right. Okay, guys, so until next week, you can find me at www.coolguystuff.tv. You can find me on Twitter at xrobspencerx. That's XROBSPENCER. I have a lot of Jeep interaction on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. The Jeep world is so much fun. Scott, do you have any of that junk?
I have nothing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll set Scott up on a Twitter after this and see what he's got going on.
I got nothing.
All right, guys, until next week. Thanks, guys.
Well, great job, Rob. It was great hearing from Scott. I like those interviews, a little interaction, and you hear the excitement in Scott's voice on the new lift and the 3.5 that was actually a 5-inch lift.
Yeah, it's funny how they. I usually thought it was leaf springs that did that more than the coil springs, but I guess even with the coil spring world, that you get a little bit more than what you pay for.
Well, there's nothing worse than advertising a certain length and then turning out that it's shorter than what was advertised. So I guess it's good marketing strategy. Although if you're trying to calculate whether the Jeep is going to fit in the garage or not.
Oh yeah,
that could be a bad thing. But
it'll be airing down every time you pull in the driveway.
Well, that's a good reason to tell the wife that you need to get a onboard air system.
That's right.
So that you can drive to work the next day.
Well, cool. Keep up the good work, Rob. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing more of those segments as the weeks go on. Glad to have you on board doing that. And big thanks to John as well for another edition of the Radio Comtech segment. Hopefully we'll be keeping that as a regular addition to the show as well. You guys can join in the fun as well. All you got to do is give our 24/7 voicemail line a call and, well, let us know what you'd like to contribute. We'll get you all hooked up with the information on how to hook up with us. That number, 530-675-4102, 24/7. Nobody's going to answer. Please leave a voicemail. Tell us what you think about the show.
And big thanks to everybody that called in for voicemails tonight. Last week we didn't have very many, and this week we had a literal plethora. I love saying that word. I like working it in anytime I can.
Big thanks to Amber, Nikki G, a couple callers with no names. Zach, dude, good job on that last voicemail there. And of course, Josh's Subconscious. Always get a crack out of those. And Mormon Dan, well, definitely be hearing from us here very soon.
Hey, it was great hearing from some Jeep Wrangler owners too, but hopefully they're appreciating the Wrangler segment, our new Wrangler segment with Rob. And again, many thanks to Rob. I know that it's a lot of work putting this stuff on, and glad that you could get your friend involved in recording that segment for us. And we're looking forward to your next one.
And we look forward to you guys checking us out on Facebook, on Twitter as well. We are on Stitcher Radio as well as TuneIn.com for your mobile listening pleasure. And of course, if you're podcasting, head over to iTunes. Check us out. Make sure you're leaving a 5-star review on both iTunes and Stitcher Radio. And we got to have you guys checking out xjtalk.com. And for the entire show archive, head over to xjtalkshow.com.
Don't forget about us on Amazon.com. If you need to make a purchase for your Jeep or for your honey, whatever you're going to do, go over to Amazon.com. But first, go to our website, click on the banner, which will take you to Amazon.com. Then you can make that purchase, and you'll be helping support our show. And it makes Josh really happy when you buy things and we get little trinkets and shiny things.
Well, I like to see the very oddball, curveball type of items that pop up on the list every now and again. Those little golden nuggets of comedy flavor that you guys throw us. Those are a lot of fun. And so you guys can be looking forward to some more of those Amazon You Bought What segments here in the near future.
Absolutely. We try to have them about every other week. We'll try to hold to that from here on out. So this is Tony.
And this is Josh.
You guys have a great Jeep week.
Ooh, red Jeeps are sexy. Yeah, I guess green Jeeps are okay.
Man, it is toasty in here, but at least the power's still on.
Yeah, that is important.
So I was I did a little. I found a way to reset the battery or batteries in my UPS that I'm running the computer and stuff on. But unfortunately, it didn't. It was charging. I mean, it started charging after resetting the battery, and it got up to like 5-minute runtime, and then it slowly went down to 0 minutes. So I'm kind of stuck back where I was before. So I don't know if those batteries were actually damaged from sitting in the UPS and not being charged properly because of the battery date. It's kind of weird. I had to do some research. But I did pick up another UPS off of eBay with no batteries in it for $40. These things are like $150. So,
oh wow,
yeah. Between the two, it's the same model that I have now. But so between the two, I should get a good working. And truth be told, I'll have them both working properly eventually. But at least all the audio equipment is on its own and separate UPS. So I didn't want to run the risk of losing some audio like we did on that first segment. And I'm still puzzled as to why I lost any audio anyway, since the digital recorder has batteries in it and they're perfectly fine. They're fully charged. So it was really strange. I guess that the way Roland designed this thing, that if you lose the electrical power, external electrical power, it shuts off, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, no, that's not doing what it's supposed to do.
I wouldn't think so, but good Lord, Roland, you would really expect a little more out of a name brand. So, guys, if you haven't figured it out, this is the post show. The recording of the show, the actual podcast that we release is done. We have this segment up on. Well, I shouldn't say segment. The entire show, both pre and post, and the main meaty bit is all on YouTube. And of course, if you're here live, you're on YouTube watching us. If you are not aware, if you're looking to, if you like watching the video, we encourage you to come over and visit us at youtube.com/xjtalk and subscribe. On the live events, you can actually, whenever we put up the live event, which I haven't been putting those things up very much ahead of time. I didn't do it till today, but there is an option to click on a little button that will schedule it so that it'll actually put it on your calendar. And of course, you have to have Google Calendar, and if you use Outlook or something, there's a little add-on that you can put on your computer, and it'll actually synchronize your Google Calendar with Outlook and your phone, so that way you don't miss the show.
And speaking of the show and stuff, I'm just sitting here, I'm not ignoring you guys, just sitting here going through and typing out the little bit of a script that we use for the promos that you guys get throughout the week or earlier in the week and stuff like that. So just my focus is on that and trying to get that all typed out so that And I'll head off and do some recording here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll get out of this hot room. Boy, it's I'm not looking forward to summertime. It's only spring today.
You're telling me, man. At least you have air conditioning.
Yeah, but with all the crap I got in this room, I think I'd have to have a 50-ton unit just for the room. I do really enjoy wintertime when it's cold out, though, because it makes it very nice to be sitting in here. I can talk and not get all sweaty. So what do you guys think about the background? That's my first try. It took me about 5 hours last Saturday, messing around with Microsoft Publisher, of all things.
Oh, I'll be darned.
To create that background. And I was actually sitting here Saturday morning looking at the TV, and some news show was on. I think they were talking about the missing 777 flight, and they had this guy talking, and they had this blue background and had this, basically something about, I don't know where he was where he was talking from, studio or whatever, I don't know. And I thought to myself, that would be neat to have on the show, because I've been wanting to do a new background from the ones I just grabbed and stuck on there. So I started doing some searching on Google, and then I made it over to YouTube, and I don't know what to call these things. I see them, you see them there all the time, but you don't know what to call them. Hang on a second. And I was actually home from work Tuesday, because this little cold that I have, I was trying to get over, but I'm still coughing. Anyway, so I started digging around, and I found this thing. I still don't know what it's called, but I found this thing on YouTube where they were talking about Microsoft Publisher. And I thought to myself, you got to be kidding me. And I started watching the video, and wow, really nice. So Publisher 2003 is good, but 2010 apparently is a little better for doing the animations and stuff like what I've selected here. I started working on another one that has the XJ Talk logo mixed in with the xjtalk.com text, and had the whole thing scrolling in the background. But either they don't have, or I have yet to learn how to do precise spacing between things. Because what you're seeing here is a loop. It's only about maybe 30 seconds or something, and it just loops continuously. So I had to, in the video editor, I had to take a little section without the logo and then paste it in there so that it would be a smooth merge between the beginning and end of the loop. I tried doing that with the other one I did, and you see the logos shifting because they are just a minuscule off.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, damn. So I need to figure out how I can do accurate measurings inside the program instead of just eyeballing it. Eyeball's good if you want to do a 30-minute or an hour video and press replay whenever it ends, which is something I don't have time to mess with whenever I'm sitting here talking and pressing buttons. So, guys, I want to thank you for showing up. If you like the show, if you like the live show, please tell your friends, get them in here, let them know about the chat room, let them know about the fun that you have in the chat room, and the shenanigans that go on. I don't think anything has rivaled the shenanigans on the old Ustream days. Of course, I think a lot of that was Wayne from New Zealand.
Well, I was going to say, I think a lot of that has to do with some of our you bought what items as well, but
yeah, I can see that. I mentioned the Amazon thing a while ago. It's like $50 worth of purchases this month. So I thought that was really good. That's why I was talking about the cactus. It's people are continuing to purchase things even though we're not talking about it. Well, I guess we did the promos and stuff, so that was kind of like talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
If we maybe we can get some people signed up to commit to being here on a live show, to do a call-in.
Well, I know that Wes 92 War Wagon wants to do an interview and talk about and actually I've been kind of slacking this because he was going to do it here in studio, and about a trip that he had with his Cherokee down to California, towing a rather overloaded trailer the entire way with like 6 people in the Jeep, and on the way back. Had the Jeep broke down.
Yeah.
And his daughter, his like 12-year-old daughter of all people, fixed it.
Oh, great.
So
I was afraid the transmission burned up.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic story. And the way he told it was absolutely great. So, but this was at the end of last summer. So, and I think it was at the end of the fall. Anyways, it's been several months. Since that's all happened, but he's been bugging me every so often. Hey, we got to do that interview. Oh yeah, you're right. So let's set it up and all that stuff. But yeah, he was one of the ones that's the chomping at the bit for a live call-in.
And we've got about at least four people that have been pestering me on and off about interviews, and I just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Just got to make time. I just I hate that because interviews are fun. It's fun talking to the folks and learning things.
And I know the audience likes interviews too, so we'll have to be a little bit more diligent about our interviewing.
Well, just think of it this way. I mean, it just kind of dawned on me. I feel bad about not getting the interviews on, but we've got Jeep tips, we've got the Radio Tech segment, we've got the Wrangler segment, and we're having to juggle things to get on the show, even a bunch of voicemails. So this is great. This is really good. I mean, things are really churning in a good way. Well, I probably shouldn't have messed with that thing that was on my knee because apparently it was a scab.
Whoops, you're bleeding now?
Yeah, a little bit. Nothing major. All right. And yeah, I guess for the next week, I've got to figure out where that popping noise came from. Hey, did you listen to the rebroadcast that I put up? Don't lie to me. I'll know.
No, I didn't. About I saw it come in, but I haven't listened to it yet. About
well, you've heard it before.
Yeah. I've heard it before. Yeah.
But I thought that was. I've been wanting to put that one back up. It was a really fun interview, and I got Paddle Trucker to actually build it up and not give it away till the very end. So that worked out well. Where the hell is the show notes? That's what I was going to do. Oh, anyway, as I often do, I was wrapping things up and got off to another subject. So, guys, thanks a lot for coming to the show. And, again, tell your friends, 10 p.m. Every Thursday. And the more of you that are here, the more likely we will be able to do a call-in segment, which you may or may not be interested in doing. Certainly, you probably would be interested in hearing because it's always fun hearing from fellow Jeepers. Don't forget about xjtalk.com. Also tell your friends about that. We love having people there. And wranglertalk.com is actually seeing a resurgence of activity. It's amazing what happens whenever you start telling people, reminding people about it. They go, oh, let's go have a look, and oh, let me post a picture here, and that type of thing. So if you're a Wrangler owner or you just like Wranglers, try wranglertalk.com, just like xjtalk.com. Jeep ownership is not a requirement for membership. Of course, listening to this show isn't either. So till next week, I will say adieu, and I'll let Josh wrap it up in between his creative writing for our promo.
Oh, just about done here. I just want to thank everybody once again for participating and really, really love the direction the show has been going lately. As Tony mentioned, we just got so much content. Oftentimes we're having to juggle it around and even skip stuff to make sure we've got to fit as much as we can into each show without going too much longer than that 1 hour mark that we try and hit each week. So everybody who's participating and joining in and contributing to the show and everything, it's just so awesome to see this start to bloom and to grow and stuff. It's what Tony and I have been hoping for quite a long time. And having you guys get involved with a show like this, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So keep up the good work, guys. I'll catch you next week.